Because while there is a lull in fighting in Tigray, in Oromia, fighting has intensified. Oromo Liberation Army has carried out several attacks on Ethiopian government soldiers, federal government soldiers, Oromia regional forces, and Eritrean soldiers as well in several parts of Oromia. I have updates from 3 regions of Oromia where fighting has occurred in the past few days. Very heavy fighting occurred, and still in some areas heavy battles are underway. Firstly, Addis Standard has confirmed that in Horo Gudurru, Oromo Liberation Army carried out an attack on a military base of Ethiopian National Defense Forces just 3 days ago. In that attack, 27 security officials were killed and 10 were injured. These numbers were provided by Addis Standard in an article. So almost confirmed that the attack was carried out by OLA in Horo Gudurru. Horo Gudurru is in western Oromia. This is Western Front, which is being led by Jalmaro, head of OLA. And it was a large-scale attack, because more than 100 OLA fighters took part in this attack. Residents of the area confirmed that hundreds of OLA fighters stormed Ethiopian National Defense Forces camp in Horo Gudurru. This camp is situated in Akayo Wareda of Horo Gudurru. And OLA fighters were armed with snipers as well. They were armed with snipers and 19 BREL. So in terms of weaponry, OLA seems to have acquired some modern weapons as well. Second attack occurred in Guji and Borena. In a previous video, I covered this attack. In Guji and Borena, which are on southern front, heavy battles took place between OLA fighters and Ethiopian government forces. Ethiopian government forces claim that 90 OLA members were killed in that fighting, while OLA fighters claim that more than 400 security officials of Ethiopian government, Oromia regional government, were killed in their attack and several hundred were injured. Since Oromia regional police is confirming or claiming that more than 90 OLA members were killed in Guji and Borena, it is an indication and evidence that heavy fighting took place in Guji and Borena. Thirdly, I have some updates about ongoing fighting in Darimu, Jimma and Limu zones. But I have some unconfirmed reports. In another video, I'll share confirmed reports about fighting in Limu, Jimma and Darimu. So you see, that Horo Gudurru is in western Oromia, Guji and Borena are in southern Oromia, and Jimma is on central front, I think. So in all these areas, on all fronts, fighting has intensified between Oromo Liberation Army and Ethiopian National Defense Forces. Secondly, once again, Oromo Liberation Army is saying that heavy deployments of Eritrean forces have been carried out in the past few days in Oromia and BG. This is the third statement from OLA and OLF that Eritrean forces have been deployed in Oromia. Yesterday, OLA claimed in the statement that 30,000 fresh Eritrean soldiers have been deployed in Guji, Borena, Kalam Velega, West Velega, Horo Gudurru. And OLA says that these divisions of Eritrean forces, they were not only moved from Tigray, but reportedly some divisions came from Eritrea as well. And the fresh Eritrean divisions have been deployed across Oromia state. Because we don't have any confirmed visual evidence, pictures or videos about the presence of Eritrean forces in Oromia. But yesterday, some OLA supporters shared a picture of an Eritrean soldier, allegedly an Eritrean soldier. His name is Sisse Tisfa Birhan. OLA supporters say that Sisse Tisfa Birhan is a soldier of Eritrean army. He was captured by OLA fighters and he was deployed in Oromia state. When Eritrean forces entered Tigray, viewers, neither Eritrea nor Ethiopia acknowledged that Eritrean forces were in Tigray. International media did not cover the entry of Eritrean forces in Tigray as well. But later we saw that there was heavy presence of Eritrean forces in Tigray. At the start of Tigray war, I informed you about the presence of Eritrean forces in Tigray, but back then international media was silent about it. Now same is happening here, that this the first video in which I am informing you that there are now overwhelming reports that Eritrean forces have arrived in Oromia. International news outlets are not covering this development. OLA, OLF locals, they are confirming that there is presence of Eritrean forces in several parts of Oromia state and in some parts of BG as well, in Kamashi and in Matakal zones of BG. But we haven't heard a single news story from any international news outlet so far about the presence of Eritrean forces in Oromia. It seems, viewers, that after containing Tigray defense forces in Tigray, Ethiopian government, Eritrean government, they have decided to crush OLA. We know that in Tigray, TDF are on the back foot. So after putting pressure upon TDF in Tigray, now it seems that Eritrean and Ethiopian forces have shifted the intensity of their onslaught towards OLA. But so far, viewers, OLA is managing to keep on hitting Ethiopian National Defense Forces. We haven't heard so far of any large-scale damage suffered by OLA fighters after the deployment of Eritrean forces in Oromia. Rather, we are hearing about OLA's attacks intensifying, and in Horo Gudurru, in Guji, in Borena, we are seeing that hundreds of Ethiopian government soldiers have been killed in attacks by OLA. So the war is intensifying in Oromia while there is a lull in a war in Tigray. Thank you for watching.